What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Backline Gear Review. I am Chief Redbeard, and today we are going to be looking at the TC Electronics Original Hall of Fame. Now, by original, I don't necessarily know if this is like the first one they ever came out with or anything like that. But as far as the market is concerned, there is the Hall of Fame MIDI, the big Hall of Fame, which is like an expansive pedal, and the Hall of Fame Reverb 2 that is currently on the market. A couple of years ago, I wanted to dive into reverbs and delays of that nature. And so I asked for Christmas for my wife to buy me this pedal. And to be honest, I did not touch it that much. So we are here today to go ahead and take a look at that. I have been getting, I guess, a little bit better. If you've seen my previous video when it came to the Horizon Devices Flux Echo, you saw that I was able to kind of get some really cool tones out of the Flux Echo. So I wanted to revisit this pedal that I have and take a look at it because I know it had some really, really cool features. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Hall of Fame Reverb, see the different features that are part of it, and then let's get into some tones. All right, so here is the Hall of Fame Reverb by TC Electronics. This is a true bypass pedal, which is really cool. You can run it in mono, which I typically do. A lot of people would prefer to run like a stereo or something maybe through an effects loop. I am going into a front of an amp right now, and so pretty much you're going to get that type of sound if that's the kind of player you are. We have three very simple knobs here. We have a decay, a tone, and an effects level. So the effects level is going to be your kind of wet dry. Your decay is going to be your reverb decay. We have a long and short pre-delay here, so you can kind of change that up how you want. And then we have a tone, sort of kind of getting into those brighter, shimmery kind of tones, and then kind of back it off a little bit and not be so strong in your tone. We have 10 different types of reverbs here, which is pretty cool, ranging from room to your springs, to your tile, all the way to a gate. And then we have a little magic button here called the tone print. We will get into that in just a second and kind of go over what that's all about. So let's go ahead and get into some tones, take a look at this pedal. So basically what we got here is a pretty nice construction pedal. It is made to get played. I can tell you that much. It's got little feet on the bottom, which is another really cool feature, and it's a more inexpensive pedal. We'll get into price in just a second, but realistically, this is a really, really awesome pedal, especially if you are just getting into trying to play around with reverbs or delays or anything to that effect. So let's go ahead and get into some tones now. All right, so for this, I will be using my baby, my CE24 from PRS, and we are going straight into the Kemper right in the front of it, and we will be using the Morgan AC20 profile that I have. I absolutely love that as a clean tone. So this is that tone, kind of dry here. I lied. This is that tone, kind of dry here. All right, take 3 on that. So this is the tone of that here. And I'm using the neck pickup currently on this. We'll probably get into my favorite split at some point in this video, but for now, let's go ahead and just take a look at that. So with everything at noon here, I'm going to just go ahead and do like a little bit of a room reverb here. And let's turn this on. All right, so you can really hear some nice little reverb going, very subtle. With everything kind of at noon, we could turn this decay up, and we can also get that mix knob kind of going there. Boost that tone a little bit. All right, and then let's go to Hall. It's obviously much more going on there. We're expanding kind of way out, getting a really, really reverby here. Let's go ahead and just switch over to church, kind of give you another idea of a very large room. All right, and then let's do like a standard kind of spring. And a plate. And we have a little mod up here. So it's a little bit of a chorus effect, which is really, really cool, just to have a slightly different tone out of just this one pedal here. All right, and then lo-fi. Which is really cool. It seems like, you know, it doesn't really mess with your tone too much. What it's really doing is giving you kind of a lo-fi sound on the reverb itself. We have a tile, an amp. So I have been playing around, and the amp I thought would be more of an ambient sound. But to be quite honest, you hear just a little bit of reverb. So maybe it's just a slight touch of reverb. I can max out all the knobs, and that's about as much as we're going to get. We have one called a gate. Not really sure what that's for. Again, just like I'm sure a lot of people out there kind of beginner with these reverb sounds. So that to me would be more of ambient, if you will. And then let's get to the little magic guy that's on here. So basically, Hall of Fame, or TC Electronic rather, have this really cool feature called tone print. So as far as I know, this is on most of their pedals, whether it is their chorus pedal, I believe it's a Corona, their flashback delay, any of those types of pedals, they have this thing called tone print. And basically, you know, just even for this, I just have an entire list of tones that I could go through just on this Hall of Fame. So they have the Hall of Fame Reverb 2 on there. They have the, the minis on there. All of them seem to kind of have this tone print setup, which is really, really cool. And it's pretty simple to use. So basically what you do is in here, I can go ahead and select a tone that I want. So for example, we have Anderton's Music Created one that's supposed to be like a country kind of bluesy sound. And basically you have to go through quite a few steps. So the only thing I don't like, it's not just select and it's automatically on the pedal. That would be kind of newer technology. I think something like this was kind of out before some of these other companies like Bias or any of that kind of have something real quick that you just switch on the fly via like Bluetooth or something. This is just an app that just kind of connects to the pedal. There's something within the pedal. So not really sure what technology it's actually using. But basically what you have to do is go through it. It walks you through and make sure everything's set up. So it says, make sure it's plugged in, make sure the volume on the guitar and your phone are up. And I'll show you why in just a second. And then it says, with your type of device beaming, it may work better if you beam from the top of your phone. So I don't really know what that means, because basically the reason for the phone volume being up is because it wants you to, it's going to play a sound. So it says pointing at your guitar. I'm assuming the pickups kind of pick it up. I really don't know what's kind of going on there. And then it says, hold the speaker of the mobile device close to the selected pickup, which I have the top pickup. So let's go ahead and beam that now. And I'm going to hold the phone also close to the pedal while doing so. All right. It says, look at your pedal. And the reason for that, if you saw, there was a bunch of green flashes. So that basically says that it was a success. So this is Anderton's profile here. So I'm not going to pretend to try to play country or anything like that because I am not very good at it. And now let's move on to another tone. So there's quite a few different artists here. We've got Head from Korn, Brian Head Welch, if you will. And then I saw, here it is, Devin Townsend. So let's kind of see what his sounds like. Let's go and yep, got to go through all the steps again. All right, beam me up, Scotty. All right, so I didn't see it flash there. Maybe you guys did, but I did not. So I'm going to retry it again. All right, let's try it their way because, again, I'm still not seeing a flash here. So it says top of the phone. I don't know why, but let's try it. Okay, so here we see is just kind of a case of what's going on. And you know what it is? Let's retry it. So the volume on my guitar was all the way down. So it definitely does go through the pickup and then to the pedal. Let's try that now. This is Devin Townsend's tone. So I think if we went to switch, I think we would still get a cool tone, but it's going to not play as good. So basically I got both pickups selected now with that split middle position there. All right, so basically, as you guys can see there, another really, really cool pedal. It's simple, but yeah, you could still get lost, which I kind of like. Again, you know, I sit here and I scream simplicity. I want something easy because I'm not the best at it, but there are still quite a few controls on it. And sometimes it's just finding that right sound for you. I really love the tone print option of this. You know, the people that were out there that luckily, and it's all free. You don't get charged for that. There's nobody, you don't have to buy everybody's tones. It's free. Once you buy the pedal, if those artists were cool enough, you just break out the phone, do the little trick, and it'll work. And it's something really cool. The drawback is, again, because it's not like a digital kind of Bluetooth or kind of setup. If you're in the middle of a show and you want somebody else's tone print, you would have to stop the show, beam up Scotty, and then add it to it. So one of the cool features is, rather on the newer Hall of Fame, is on the Hall of Fame 2, there are 3 different tone settings that you can have. That may also be Bluetooth. Again, I haven't got my hands on it. I've done just a little bit of research into it. That may finally have the option to have those 3 different ones without having to constantly switch. So if there are like 3 main reverbs that you like, you can check that out. Also, on the updated version, there is this kind of mash button, which kind of gives you a kind of like expression pedal kind of feel to it, where it'll give you, I guess, like a little bit of a boost or something in between. And then they also added shimmer reverb, which in my opinion is the best reverb out there. I like something that's very ambient, very pretty, kind of make you want to cry when you hear it. But this pedal can get pretty close. And I think there were some really, really cool tones. You can most likely find this thing for less than $100 on Reverb or eBay or whatever it is that you use. And I think it would be a good buy, especially if you are a beginner just getting into kind of the reverb delay kind of sound. Again, you can run this into the front of the amp like I'm doing, or you can run it through the effects loop, whatever is your preference there. And then if not, the Hall of Fame 2 in this size is retailing right now for about $149, depending on your retailer. And I think it's a great buy. I think TC Electronics they've done some great things with some of their pedals, and it's very, very good entry. Other than that, you're looking, you know, a lot of these other companies out there are $300, $400, $500 for some of these bigger, overly complicated pedals. The Horizon Devices Flex Echo, I believe, what was that? $219, somewhere around there, $199, which I also think is a great buy if you're looking to kind of get that reverb and delay. You can't go wrong with that, as you can tell, for even 50 more bucks than this. If not, I think this is a great pedal if you just really want that kind of reverb. We didn't go over any high gain tones, but I have been able to kind of dial in some stuff there. That's where I kind of get lost when it comes to these types of effects. More or less, I would say in like an effects loop, but if you want to sound like Van Halen, you could definitely sound like Van Halen using this pedal. But other than that, I think it's a great buy. I'm happy I have it. It's a cool pedal. As you can see, the construction looks good. You know, I like the feet on the bottom. It's got the top mounted, power switch. I really, really like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys like this video, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you know when my gear reviews come out. They come out every Monday at 9 a.m. If I missed it, I apologize. I'm running out of gear, so if you got anything you want me to check out, let me know down in the comments below. If I can get my hands on it, I will do my best to do that review. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you could, give me that thumbs up, and I'll see you next week.